My name is Olivia Derbabian. This is my informative speech for COM 100, and it's titled, Is It All About the Rah-Rah and the Pom-Poms? When most people hear the word cheerleading, the first thing that probably comes to mind are girls in skirts cheering at football or basketball games. Yes, cheerleaders may be exactly that, but that is only one small side of a world that is yet to be entirely seen. The world of all-star cheerleading has given the sport a facelift. And while some people may not consider cheerleading a sport, the difficult routines, acrobatic stunts, and tumbling that are performed by the cheerleaders make them world-class athletes. Cheerleading has evolved from the days of our moms in pleated skirts with pom-poms bigger than their bodies. It's all about competition and athleticism that comes with it. Because this new kind of cheerleading is unfamiliar to some audiences, I will talk about what exactly has changed in recent years with cheerleading. Next, I will let you know what steps different organizations are going through to make cheerleading a sport. Lastly, I will explain what competitive cheerleading has done to impact the lives of girls and guys all over the world. Now that you have some idea of this new age of cheerleading, let's look at how it all started. Throughout the years, cheerleading has changed tremendously. Cheerleading's roots are closely tied with American footballs. The first intercollegiate game was played in 1869 between Princeton University and Rutgers University of New Jersey. By the late 1880s, Princeton had formed an all-male prep club, but it wasn't until 1923 that women were allowed to cheer at all. All-star cheerleading started in the late 1980s and grew rapidly through the 1990s. This kind of cheerleading focused on athletic training and competition performances, as opposed to school-based cheerleading which focused just on crowd leading and student involvement. Not only has the style of cheerleading changed throughout the years, but the recent desire to make cheerleading a sport has made a huge impact on the program itself. In recent years, different organizations and companies have been pushing towards cheerleading becoming a sport. Cheerleading in its current form does not meet the criteria of Women's Sports Foundation in its ruling that a sport must contest or compete against or with an opponent. The primary purpose is not competition, but the raising of school unity through leading and crowd athletic functions. While this may be the case on a national level in some states, such as New York, cheerleading has been regulated a sport by the National Federation of State High School Associations. This was made public to the state of New York in May of 2014, as to come into action for the 2014-2015 school year. Though every state may not be on board with making cheerleading a sport, one thing that is certain is that the world of competitive cheerleading has changed the face of cheerleading since the start. Competitive cheerleading has changed the whole way the public views the sport as a whole. There is a version of cheer that is athletic and competitive and physically demanding. It requires strength and endurance and commitment from all of its participants. It is the legitimate place on the spectrum of athletic experience for girls who aren't interested in soccer or softball or basketball. High school cheerleading and all-star cheerleading couldn't be more far apart in activities when you really look at them head-to-head. Cheering on the sidelines for your school team and putting your life in people's hands as they toss you 10 feet in the air are polar opposites, yet they are still lumped into the same category. While cheerleading may not be a sport in some people's eyes, it definitely isn't the same activity that our parents were a part of in the 70s and 80s. Gone are the days of pleated skirts and megaphones. Competition and perseverance is what takes the stage now in the world of cheerleading. The change that has been seen through the style of cheerleading and constant effort of trying to get the sport recognized as a sport will keep cheerleading on the radar for a long time. Next time you hear the word cheerleading, think of the girls who tumble with grace and lift their teammates to new heights, not just the girls in miniskirts cheering, rah, rah, rah.